Hello everybody, welcome to Rick and Dave's Comic Book Hour. I'm Rick.
I'm Dave. This issue we are going to talk about a couple of movies that we both watched. The first one is called All Superheroes Must Die.
Yeah, buddy.
And well, this movie probably ought to die, but that's a side point. The villain is a guy played by James Remire, and also starring a Lucas Till, a Jason Trost, and that's all they mention in the back here. And there's a couple other main characters, but there is the cover. What'd you think, Rick?
Well, this is a movie I bought. I haven't heard of the movie at all, and I saw it at Walmart for $9.97. So I took a chance on it.
Good thing he spent his money and not me.
And so after watching the movie, I knew that I spent $9 too much. And basically, it's a stinker. And it's a low budget. It's so low budget. Like I told Dave, I mean, it's so it's built into the storyline that the place that they're at dampens their superhero ability, so they don't got to worry about special effects.
Oh, that was they all got injected with a thing.
Yeah, they got injected with something in their wrist.
The bad guy kidnaps all these superheroes, injects them with something in their wrist that dampens their, or gets rid of their superpowers.
Right.
So basically you got 4 guys, well, 2 guys and 2 girls. Is that right? 2 guys and 2 girls?
I think it's 3 guys and 2 girls.
3 guys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. See, it's so bad we can't even remember that. But anyway, there's 4 characters and they're walking around without superpowers. So that gets rid of any special effects, which that saves you lots of money. And they're all walking around in ripped up costumes in this town, which is dark at night, and this villain, he kidnaps all. How he manages to kidnap all these people is beyond me. But he manages to kidnap basically the whole town, hooks them all up to bombs, and these guys got to go through jump through all these hoops to save these people.
He gives them different challenges through a video. I mean, he doesn't even face them at the beginning. He's like through these video cameras, and he can watch them, and it's like, you know, well, this one you've got to save these people, or these hostages die. So it was something like that.
So he's making them fight each other and stuff like that, and
in the meantime,
they do work in some flashback scenes a little bit, so you can kind of get a little basis of who the characters are and that sort of thing, which was helpful. If they didn't do that, it would have been really like, what the hell is this all about?
The one girl and the one guy, of course, that were at one time love interests. I can't remember.
Yeah, they were boyfriend, girlfriend.
You have names written down there or
no? No, I didn't write it. I didn't write anything down on this one. But
anyway, they had some kind of love interest before, and we find out the one guy didn't even have superpower. He just bulked himself up.
Yeah, he just. Apparently they got all their superpowers from, what was it, a meteor or something like that.
Yeah, and then he
didn't. But he didn't for some reason, and so. But he's the leader of the group, and so he's just worked out a lot and stayed in shape and whatnot. So
they thought that the implant didn't work on him because he was able to still do some stuff.
Yeah. So that's pretty low budget and managed to sit through it, and I didn't care for the ending at all. The ending pretty much sucked right up, with the rest of the movie.
I think, but 2 of them die, right? And then the last 2 of them.
Yeah, the two end up dying somehow, and then the last 2 take off, and then you don't know if they died or survived, but they did get the villain at the end. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
So, but so if you bought this movie, I'm sorry. If you're into bad B movies,
if you have to collect all superhero movies, you're going to have to buy it.
Yeah, if you're that diehard of collecting your superhero movies, or you just enjoy watching bad movies, because I've got a group of friends who sit around and watch really bad horror movies all the time. I mean, this is right up there with bad superhero movies. So
we should have Theater 3000 this thing.
Yeah, Mystery Theater. Yeah, but anyway, so that's what that was basically about. So if you watched it, I'm sorry. But
we watched it, so like I said, it's right now I'm gonna give it a thumbs down. It's in my collection, so what can I do?
Yeah, don't waste your money on it unless you see it for like 97 cents.
90 cents.
And then maybe it'll be something to kill an hour and a half.
Whatever it was.
I think was it even that long?
Unless you want to go to Pirate Bay.
It's 78 minutes.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Seemed like a lot longer.
So it's 78 minutes of torture.
78 days.
Yeah. So it's not, at least it's not a full hour and a half even. But anyway, we're going to move on. This one is not really a superhero movie per se, but he is pretty super. James Bond. Skyfall.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
what do you think, Rick?
Well, this movie would have been worth $9.97. This movie would have been worth $29.97. But of course, I got the Blu-ray, which was
$29.97.
$29. Yeah, I think it was $24. No, I think it was whatever. But yeah, this is James Bond. As you know, it's going to have it. I'm not going to do a compare and contrast. This is a good James Bond movie. James Bond is older. He has to try to requalify for being an agent. They tell him he passes. Of course, he didn't. But he still goes on the mission and gets the job done.
Yes, he does. So I enjoyed this movie because it kind of reestablishes the whole Bond franchise a little bit. Because the last couple, well, especially the last movie Daniel Craig did, sucked. And then the one before that was, to me, was okay. But this one here, they finally nailed it. They opened up the movie with an excellent chase scene. I mean, they're on motorbikes and cars and foot races, and then they end up battling on top of a train. And Bond gets shot, and they think he dies, and then he shows up months later, and that's why he has to requalify to be an agent and whatnot.
That's because he disappeared after he was shot.
Yeah, so he takes some time off just to kind of mull over life, I guess, and nail girls on the island that he was living in and whatnot. But you know, that's very Bond-like. So then the big thing was they introduced a new M, and they gave the current M spoiler alert if you haven't watched it, but she ends up dying. So they give her a very dramatic, heroic way of going, I guess.
Right.
And so then that leads into bringing in a new M, and they introduce a new Q, which this guy's all hip and knows all the computer technology and whatnot. And I thought it was kind of a cool contrast that this guy knows all this cool tech stuff, and then what's he give Bond? He gives him a pistol and a radio transmitter. That's all the gadgets he gets. Although the pistol does have his palm print on it, so only he can shoot the gun. So I guess that was a cool thing.
I'm not even sure that's a good idea, but we'll go with that.
But that's what they did.
Like, you think about that and think, well, that's a pretty good idea, but is it? Because what if he loses his gun and there's someone there that can help him, but can't help him because he can't fire his gun.
Well, yeah.
It's kind of a catch-22 thing there.
Yeah.
You understand the concept, but really it could come back to bite you.
Well, it could, but then the bad guy tried to use his gun, and it did work for him. So
because it was catch-22.
Yeah. So there's.
And this is one of those things about an older guy trying to stay up there with the young guys. They want, they think he's washed up, and he's not ready to get washed up. He might have quit, but at the end he's ready to go back to duty. He's ready. I mean, he's pumped up to go back at the end of the movie. Yes, if you watch it, you know that he's not ready to give up yet. No matter how bad a shape he's in, he's going to go after it. Yeah,
he got shot up, beat up, and a whole bit through this whole movie. So they really kind of tore him down and built him back up through this flick. And the villain was pretty cool. He's really creepy and nasty and smart. And
it was interesting to go back to his childhood home too. So.
Yeah, so they built that whole set. Oh,
they did?
Yeah, that whole thing, that was all set for the movie. It wasn't some house that they found. So
they built that up just to blow it up.
Yeah, basically they built it just to blow it up, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then they introduced a new Moneypenny.
Yep.
And she's totally hot. So, and they had her working in the field, so I thought that was cool to show that, she's not just a straight up secretary. She can also go out and hang with Bond if need be, to do some.
As long as she doesn't take the shot.
Yeah, so long as she doesn't try to shoot him again. But anyway, so this is probably in my top 5 favorite Bond movies for sure. I really, really enjoyed this one. So if they can keep this pace up, I think Daniel Craig might be one of the better Bonds. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to give him a good vehicle, and so We'll wait and see. I mean, they just say he'll be back. I mean, at every movie, at the end of every movie, they say he's going to be back.
Yeah. So, but they did blow up the Aston Martin car.
Yeah, they'll get him a new one.
Give him a new one, but they finally brought that back, which that showed up first time. And I was watching Goldfinger the other day, so that's the first time they showed that car, so it kind of went full circle.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
they blew it up.
So
it was almost a movie out with it. It was almost a movie like out with the old and in with the new, and then to still keep the guy, but you know he's getting new partners, and then now maybe next movie get a new vehicle. So
yeah, so hopefully they'll give him some cool tech, since you know this is the 21st century, and maybe something neat like that. But at any rate, I enjoyed the movie. You enjoyed it?
Yes,
I give it thumbs up.
Thumbs up, maybe. Yeah.
All right.
And the villain was pretty good too. I mean, the villain was a good villain. He was an ex-spy, and so he was able to know how they worked, and he knew how to push Bond's buttons.
Yeah.
He knew how bad a shape Bond was in, so he knew what kind of test to give him. Where if he failed, someone paid the price.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think that's the long or the short of it there. So if you haven't seen the movie,
go out and buy it.
I suggest you go out and get it and add it to your Bond collection.
And if you don't got a Bond collection, we'll go start one.
That's right. I only need one more movie and I have them all. But anyway. Well, thanks for watching.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Good day.